Hey, what's up guys? This is the EZVIZ C8W Pro smart home camera with 2K of resolution. It pans 340 degrees and tilts 80 degrees and gives you up to 360 degrees of panoramic view. So you get 2K streaming, it could detect humans and cars, smart tracking, two-way talk, color night vision, active defense. It is weatherproof and supports up to 256 gigabytes of micro SD cards. Opening this up, we get a quick start guide. We get the camera itself. So, taking this thing out, nicely packaged. Take a closer look at this in a minute, but it's actually, they cover this up so when you're installing it, you don't touch this stuff. But it looks like the micro SD card goes here. You would unscrew this, pop it in there, screw this back in, and yeah. So, you're supposed to leave this on when you're installing it so you won't touch it. It looks like the audio is right here. So this is that 340 degrees that they were talking about. And you have the option from screwing it this way, or you could screw it upwards as well. So you could pretty much place it. You have a lot of versatility in terms of placement. So it looks like there's an Ethernet cable and a power. It also supports Wi-Fi as well. So this is the weatherproof design for the cable so they don't get wet. This is the drill hole, so it's your guide essentially on how you want to install it, which is nice. It's a sticker you put on. Some more instructions and the power cord, which is 100 to 240 volts, and this is what it looks like. And you get some screws. All right, let's install it. So here's the resolution of the camera, and I am doing a full pan so you guys could see that it can easily see 360 degrees. Now, if you pay attention to the timestamp on the bottom left of the screen, you could see that it changes colors based on the background to make it easier to read. So it goes from white to black, and it individually does it for whichever components needed, which is pretty cool. Alright, so this is what the app looks like, called the EZVIZ app, and it works fairly well. So you click snapshot, takes a picture, you click record, it'll start recording, you click it again, it will stop recording. If it detects motion, it will record automatically. In fact, that's what most of these are. If you click on, and we'll go over this shortly, if you click on PTZ, this is the pan and tilt. So this is the feature where if you want to pan and tilt the camera, well, you can. Now sometimes this thing lags, and the reason for that is because it's on a higher definition. So if you lower the definition, it usually tends to lag less. Now the cool thing is, let's just say you like this specific angle, and what you can do is you can actually save this. So you could click on preset locations, you could call this something like fence, and you could say left if you wanted to. Click save, and I've done this a few times, so you're gonna see some duplicates, but you can essentially save preset locations. And this was at first very hard to find because I'm like, okay, I preset the locations, but how do I get to it? Well, there's kind of a hidden button here, and I'm hoping they do an app update to actually make this show like these are buttons. But if you click on preset locations, these are all the locations that you can set. So I have a, we did fence left, and last time I did left fence. So I did fence left on purpose so you guys could see it, but I can click on shed and it'll change its location to shed. I can click on right and you'll see me talking with the camera, and you can see the camera's pointing at the phone. And then we can click on fence left. So essentially it just makes it very simple to see what you're doing. Now I would, again, really like it if these were buttons and they were very easy to tell that, oh, you could click on this and then here are all your preset locations. Now, you could click on talk. Now, if I click talk right now because I'm close, there's going to be an echo. But I did another example of that, which I'll probably cut in. But I'll just click talk anyways, just so you guys see. Testing. Testing. This is what the mic sounds like.
Testing the audio. Testing the audio.
Okay, so you could talk directly into it. Now, this is the definition. This is what I was talking about. Right now I'm on the highest definition, full HD. I can go to high def. I can also go lower quality. And the lower you go, the chances of it lagging when you're moving, when you're panning and tilting, reduce. So if it's lagging too much, I recommend lowering the quality so it won't lag as much. You can also take a 360 degrees picture. Now this thing is also associated with sensors that you can say, oh, if it detects something, it could turn there and look at that sensor, but I don't have that. I don't have that set up, nor do I need it. And then here's what the alarm sounds like. Okay, so I disabled that, and there was a shot of the floodlight, which is the same light that goes on at night when it's recording. Now, if you use PTZ a lot, or if you use talk a lot and you want to move these around, well, that's what rearrange does. So it's a nice feature. So let's just say I can actually grab this and move this up to the top. So, and now PTZ will be at the front. So it's kind of a nice customization thing there. In the top right, you go to settings. That's that little hexagon thing that you click on. Those are your settings. So you have a whole bunch of settings here. Intelligent detection. So I have human shape detection. That this is the example of human tracking. This is an option you enable, which I will show you guys after this clip. And it uses human shape detection to track me. Now the main screen is taken from the camera itself, and the bottom right screen, which kind of looks like a picture-in-picture, is a screen capture from my iPhone. So you could see that in the iPhone capture, you could see that there's a little red rectangle following me, and now I'm going to try and confuse it just to see what it's going to do by going behind these bushes, and you could see that it lost me. And you could see as soon as I come out, I start walking towards it, and you could see it immediately tracked me again. So it does a pretty good job of tracking me. Now I'm going to try to move a little bit quicker now, and don't worry guys, I'm not joining the Olympics, but you could see that it lost me. Now I think this is also because I was a bit closer to the camera. If I was a bit farther away, maybe it would track me, but generally speaking, if you're walking at a normal pace, it should have no problem tracking you, and it does a pretty good job. You guys saw the camera tracking me. It's because I have this. That's why you can also turn on vehicle detection and image change detection. We can turn on notifications. I pretty much have mine off. Audio settings. So this is, if you enable this, you can also hear the audio coming from the camera. Not something I'm particularly interested in. I just want to see the video. But if you do want to see that, you can do that. Image settings, there's a lot of stuff here. So I don't use Smart Marker Box. There's a lot of different types of night vision, color night vision, smart night vision. I just have that on. So usually at night it turns on the lights, but you also, to get really a color night vision out of it, then you could, change the brightness of the light. And OSD is if you want the image to have this. So if you click on OSD, you can, it might be hard to tell from the camera, but it says C8W Pro there. So just so you know which camera it's coming from. You can also flip the image. So depending on how you mounted it, you could flip the image, which I think is a pretty important feature to have. It gives you more versatility in how you want them mounted. Granted, I think you have to mount it in a certain direction for it to be waterproof. Alright, got a notification there. And device sleep mode, which I do not use. And then we go into light settings, camera status light. There's a little status light, a little blue LED on there. You can have that enabled or disabled. PTZ settings, you can do human tracking. This is what was enabled. That's why it was tracking me. You can also have this disabled. This up to you. You can calibrate it, and you could take the 360 degrees picture and get some sensors, and it could pay attention to that area. Cloud Play is their internet storage. Record list is your memory card. You can also have it record all day. Now when you do this, it says, hey, this might cause more damage, because if you have a micro SD card in there, they only have a finite amount of writing, so the more times you're writing to it, the less it's going to last. So I just have it for motion detection, which is the default. And security settings, just if you want to encrypt your videos or not. And network settings, just your Wi-Fi, device information, share device. You can also restore and delete device from here. And if we go back, so this is what it looks like when it's recorded. So if I just go, it'll show me a time. All of these little blue things shows me when there was action, or if I clicked record, or if it detected motion, it recorded it. So you could still see it records quite a bit, and it loads fairly quickly. I'm not going to say it was terrible or anything or amazing, but it's fairly quick. Now it probably recorded it because it saw the tree, the shadow of the tree there. You can also go back to whichever days you want. The larger the memory card, the more storage you will have. You can also, if you have Cloud Play, you click on the cloud and then you can see it from here. And essentially that's pretty much it in a nutshell. This is the filter button. So if you want to filter for stuff, you can, to find things a little bit easier. With the little dots, you can see the recordings and stuff. So there's a little more things you can do to really filter out the scenes, but overall this is the gist of it. You can also change the way it looks. If you don't like a certain style, you could kind of do it this way, and maybe it might help you see things easier. And if you have more than one EZVIZ camera, which I do, I have some disabled, some enabled, you essentially would just swipe and it would go to, well, okay, it's because I'm not in the live mode. Well, you could go back here and then you could click on, my other one, which is the C8PF, which I've already reviewed. But you can also just move around from this as well. So once you're in this normal live view, you can just slide it and I'll go to the next camera. And yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Finally, we get to the nighttime shot. So this is using the infrared light to create that black and white night vision, which does a pretty good job in a fairly dark area. And the same can be said when the spotlight goes on to create color night vision, which is just an option you would set. You can have it go to one or the other, or do the smart where it only goes to color night vision when it detects something. So for the price, I'd say it's a pretty good camera considering it can pan and tilt. You get a lot of options and it's fairly good quality during the day or at night, and the fact that it can track humans is also a plus. With that said, let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below, and as always, smash that subscribe button and I'll catch you guys in the next one.